Welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you've ever felt like your kindness is just constantly taken advantage of, well, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're unpacking a seriously fascinating source text that details a profound psychological shift. We're talking about how to transform from a vulnerable, bleeding heart people pleaser into a completely sovereign, untouchable individual. And we'll be exploring this transformation through the lens of 8 Machiavellian principles outlined in our source material. Let's get right into it. So, here's our roadmap for this evolution. We're going to cover the 2 versions of you: starving the chaos, weaponizing restraint, creating the fortress, and ultimately becoming untouchable. Starting things off with part 1, the 2 versions of you, the pain of the pleaser. We have to begin with the painful reality of where many of us operate right now and the psychological vulnerability that comes with it. The text draws this incredibly stark contrast. You've most likely been living as version 1. You know the type, the person who over-explains, apologizes constantly, tolerates disrespect, and just bleeds energy, hoping people will finally see your worth. But the author proposes a tough pill to swallow. The more you give, the less they actually see your value. Today, we're going to see how the source guides you to awaken version 2. This is the silent, certain version, the one who doesn't argue, doesn't beg, but simply removes themselves from toxic situations without a drop of guilt, the one who absolutely refuses to break for others. Moving into part 2, starving the chaos, the internal shift. This stage is entirely internal, and it's all about stopping the flow of your energy to the ungrateful. To really grasp this shift, you have to ask yourself a tough question. Why do good people consistently get taken advantage of and broken first by the chaotic world? The text points out that it's actually not because you're kind, but because you confuse being kind with being harmless. The source explains this dynamic through what it calls the psychology of power. In this framework, when you give your energy and forgiveness too freely, it's subconsciously devalued by everyone around you. The author argues that people with predatory traits actually hunt your guilt because they instinctively equate your endless generosity with weakness and emotional dependence. They just assume you give so easily because you desperately need to be liked. Niccolo Machiavelli nailed this centuries ago. He noted that men are quicker to offend someone they love than someone they fear. The ungrateful exploit your goodness precisely because they aren't afraid of losing it. They know you'll stay, they know you'll forgive them, and they know you'll rationalize their bad behavior. Without meaning to, you've essentially trained them to see you as disposable. So, to survive, the text suggests you have to unlearn the belief that being endlessly good will somehow save you. In fact, goodness without boundaries is described by the source as a literal death sentence. Instead, you've got to anchor yourself with this fierce affirmation: my kindness has limits. The framework advises conserving your energy like a weapon, only giving your care to those who have actually earned it through consistent respect. To truly starve the chaos around you, the framework demands a major shift from emotional reactions to strategic actions. So instead of begging for closure, you detach and you observe. Instead of offering blind loyalty, you offer conditional loyalty. And instead of crying for fairness when you get hurt, you analyze your mistakes and study the enemy. Because when it comes to dark psychology, the one who chases always loses power. The source heavily emphasizes that detachment isn't coldness, it's control. It is the absolute authority to walk away from chaos with your peace totally intact. I mean, we've all been in that spot where we desperately want to fire off a heated text back, right? But by adopting this strict boundary, choosing peace over people, you stop reacting. And that cuts off the manipulator's power source completely. And hey, when betrayal does happen, instead of drowning in it, the source asserts that you should view your pain as currency. Weak people search for fairness, but strategic minds transmutes their suffering into strategy. By adopting the mindset that your pain builds power, you actually use your setbacks as hard data to locate your weaknesses and evolve. All right, part 3, weaponizing restraint, the external defense. With your internal energy protected, we transition to stage 2 of the blueprint, which is all about controlling your external reactions and mastering ambiguity. The hunger to be completely understood is a trap, and it keeps you chained. As Machiavelli notes, true command requires that you never defensively over-explain yourself. Because when you do explain yourself, you're just revealing that you're still seeking validation. Power doesn't justify itself, it simply exists. According to the text, transparency is actually a massive trap.
The weak invite dissection by rushing to justify their actions. They are practically handing over their emotional blueprints. The strong, on the other hand, actively choose to be misunderstood. They rely on ambiguity because they know for a fact that people cannot control what they cannot read. The author's solution here is to weaponize your calm. They argue that in a world that is just addicted to noise and oversharing, stillness gives you invisible, unpredictable control. Silence is not emptiness. It's a calculated strategy that creates psychological tension. It forces others to project their own fears and insecurities while you just sit back and observe.
Moving on to part 4, creating the fortress, boundaries and calculated loyalty. This is where we look at creating a formidable defensive perimeter around that newfound restraint. The text defines boundaries not just as static walls, but as invisible gates. Without these protective gates, your life is basically an open field for exploitation. But enforcing them calmly communicates absolute dominance. It instantly removes the leverage manipulators have over you, simply because you are the one dictating the terms of the relationship. The underlying philosophy here is pretty simple. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. Making this affirmation your daily armor means you officially stop rewarding bad behavior with your presence. The fearful might call that arrogance, but the wise recognize it as pure self-command. Now, within this fortress you've built, the source outlines that your loyalty has to be calculated and conditional. It should never be an emotional cage. If you show absolute blind loyalty, it becomes a major liability and is immediately viewed as a weakness. Absolute dependence kills the autonomy required for true power. Your loyalty always has to serve your growth and your protection first. And finally, part 5, becoming untouchable, the ultimate evolution. We have reached the climax of this explainer. This is the state where absolutely no betrayal or manipulation can pierce your psychological armor. This untouchable mindset is the grand culmination of all the shifts we've talked about. It's a sovereign state where you stop chasing external validation to feed your ego. You reclaim your energy, you act from strategy instead of emotion, and you move entirely unaffected by the world's chaos, all because you have finally achieved complete self-mastery. Being untouchable is really about this specific presence, a quiet, undeniable declaration that crossing you has a serious cost. The source clarifies that being feared in this context isn't about terror, it's about control and the clear awareness from others that you are no longer accessible for exploitation. You are entirely complete within yourself. So, looking at the complete blueprint one last time, withdrawing energy, weaponizing silence, building boundaries, and achieving sovereignty. Mastering these 4 steps effectively strips the world of its leverage over you, forging you in the fire of self-mastery. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought from the source material to just reflect upon in silence. It's a powerful reminder of who you have the potential to become. The world is always going to try to test your patience and punish your kindness. So I invite you to ask yourself, what are you going to do with this new armor? Will you remain the version that bends, or are you ready to become the version that rules? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.